But yeah, I went a bit too much. I was so frustrated inside of me, and I was just like trying to let it go. Probably I went too far, not probably I went too far. And then honestly, I think it was the right move from him to probably like just let me be on my own. And I don't want to say the way I wanted to say, but he really upset me, and I was really really stressed and angry on him, and that really helped me to pull out such tennis.
Aryna Sabalenka is on fire once again, but this time it's not just her impressive game that's making headlines. During her match against Coco Gauff, Sabalenka's behavior took a shocking turn. She was shouting loudly and using intimidating tactics, clearly trying to unsettle Coco in the middle of the match. But things escalated when her coach, Anton Dubrov, called her out right there on the court, questioning her actions. Instead of taking it calmly, Sabalenka snapped back at Dubrov, yelling at him in response. And if that wasn't enough, Dubrov, visibly frustrated, left his seat in the stands mid-match, showing his disapproval of her behavior. This moment raised a lot of eyebrows, as many were quick to call out Sabalenka for her disrespect towards Gauff. But it was Dubrov's bold move that really left people talking about how deep the tension between Sabalenka and Gauff really goes. Before we dive into all the drama that unfolded on the court, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Acelytics for all the latest updates on Coco Gauff. You won't want to miss it.
Well, and as a player, I can completely understand that.
As a player, you can understand, but probably coaches can also understand Anton, you know?
But we don't care about the coaches right now. We care about the player. The player is always right, and that's the bottom line, and that's the only thing you have to worry about.
But Aryna didn't stop there. After the match, during the post-match interview, she took things even further. She stunned everyone when she openly mocked her own coach, claiming that he was holding her back. She admitted to yelling at him in the heat of the moment, but then shifted the blame onto him, suggesting that he was trying to mess up her game. This move shocked many, as she showed no respect for a coach who was simply asking her to show respect for her opponent, Coco Gauff, a player who has beaten her several times throughout their careers. Instead of acknowledging the importance of respecting her opponents, she took aim at the very person who was looking out for her. Dubrov's reaction to Aryna Sabalenka's behavior is entirely understandable, especially given how blatantly she disrespected Coco Gauff. In what was expected to be a thrilling match, Sabalenka did come out on top, but the way she secured the victory raised many questions. It wasn't just her performance that left a bad taste. It was her mocking attitude, the intimidation tactics, and her exaggerated celebrations after each point that overshadowed her win. It seemed like winning was all that mattered to her, with little regard for respect. In the post-match interview, she even admitted that the anger she showed played a key role in her comeback during the first set, which she was on the verge of losing.
Just trying to fight, you know, and then somehow I was able to turn around things, and I think that game gave me like an extra boost of energy and belief that I can still win this set, and yeah.
Meanwhile, Coco Gauff, despite the loss, handled herself with remarkable composure, displaying nothing but grace under pressure. She gave everything she had, leaving it all on the court. But unfortunately, it wasn't enough to secure the win. Throughout it all, however, Sabalenka's taunts and jabs during the match were impossible to overlook. From her over-the-top celebrations to those moments when it seemed like she was more focused on belittling Coco than actually playing the match, it served as a stark reminder that tennis isn't just about raw skill, it's also about character. And in this instance, Sabalenka's actions spoke volumes about her attitude both on and off the court. Sabalenka's approach during the match seemed to focus less on the sport itself and more on trying to mentally unsettle Coco Gauff. Throughout the second set, it was evident that Sabalenka was crossing boundaries, not with her racket, but with her loud chants, aggressive grunts, and subtle jabs aimed at Coco. It felt as though she was deliberately trying to make Coco uncomfortable, seizing every opportunity to make loud noises and throw taunts, all while knowing that neither the umpire nor Coco were calling her out. Once she realized that no one was intervening, Sabalenka's behavior escalated, almost as if she had become a harassing presence on the court. It's baffling that the authorities chose to ignore such a clear display of disrespect. Why was there no intervention? Why was the integrity of the game and the dignity of the players not protected? This type of behavior should never be allowed to go unchecked in professional sports. Even though Sabalenka managed to turn the game around after struggling in the first half, it was evident that the outcome could have been different if it hadn't been for her intimidating tactics and loud distractions. Coco Gauff had a 2-point lead in the first set and was on the verge of taking it, but Sabalenka, with her aggressive behavior, flipped the momentum. As the match continued and with no intervention from the authorities, Sabalenka felt emboldened to keep up the intimidation, using it as a tool to unsettle Coco. It wasn't just about the game anymore, it became about disrupting Coco's focus. And in the end, Sabalenka's unchecked actions played a significant role in securing her victory. Despite using these tactics to win the match, Coco Gauff has already secured the WTA Player of the Year award for 2025. The exciting news was confirmed by none other than the legendary Stephen A. Smith. Known for his bold commentary and passion for sports, Stephen A. took to the airwaves to congratulate Coco for carrying the American flag to victory and making the country proud. But his praise didn't stop there. He also took the opportunity to call out Aryna Sabalenka, mocking her for her apparent envy of Coco Gauff. Stephen A. pointed out that Sabalenka seemed to have a personal issue with Coco, yet Coco remained unfazed by her negative behavior. Despite suffering a loss to Sabalenka, Coco has had the better year overall, and that speaks volumes about her resilience and character. Stephen A. didn't stop with just a few jabs. He went further, saying that Sabalenka clearly struggles with losing to Coco Gauff, whether it's in a title match or an award race. He pointed out that Sabalenka seems to have a chip on her shoulder when it comes to Coco, showing frustration with always coming second. According to Stephen A., Sabalenka's bad luck is that every time she gets close to accomplishing something, Coco somehow manages to swoop in and take it away from her at the last moment.
Somebody got to ask this question. She came across as a very sore loser after she lost to you. What is up with her, and how much of a motivation was it that you were going up against her?
Stephen A. Smith hit the nail on the head when he highlighted Sabalenka's lack of respect after losing to Coco Gauff. It was clear that Aryna's frustration had reached its peak. Just moments after the defeat, in the tunnel, she let her anger take control, violently smashing her racket. It was evident she was furious with herself, and her comments during the press conference only revealed the depth of her inner frustration. The reality is that Sabalenka seems to struggle with showing respect toward Coco Gauff, and as their careers progress, it's likely we'll see more emotional outbursts from Aryna. In conclusion, Aryna Sabalenka's behavior throughout her match against Coco Gauff, followed by her actions in the post-match interview, has painted a clear picture of her character both on and off the court. While Sabalenka undoubtedly possesses immense talent and has had a successful career, her recent conduct has left much to be desired. From her attempts to mentally unsettle Gauff with taunts and intimidating tactics during the match, to her mockery of her coach, Anton Dubrov, in the post-match interview, it's evident that Sabalenka's focus is not solely on the sport, but on her own ego and desire to dominate. Dubrov, who has been her coach for some time, saw through this and called her out during the match for her lack of respect toward her opponent. His bold move to confront Sabalenka in front of everyone showed his disapproval of her actions. Sabalenka's harsh response, yelling at her coach and later mocking him in the interview, only highlighted how little regard she has for the values of sportsmanship and respect. Her actions on the court were not only disrespectful to Coco Gauff, but also to the very person who has been guiding her in her professional journey. Sabalenka's outbursts and lack of accountability only serve to expose her deeper insecurities and frustrations. Her behavior toward Gauff, and even towards her coach, reflects someone who is struggling to handle defeat with grace. As her career progresses, it's likely we will see more of these emotional outbursts unless she learns to manage her emotions and show respect both to her opponents and the people who support her. Her coach, Dubrov, has undoubtedly exposed the flaws in her character, and it's time for Sabalenka to reflect on her actions if she hopes to evolve as both a player and a person. What do you all think about Sabalenka's behavior during and after the match? Do you believe her actions were justified? Or do they reflect poorly on her character as a professional athlete? How do you feel about the way she treated her coach, Anton Dubrov? and the respect, or lack thereof, she showed toward Coco Gauff. Do you think Sabalenka's emotional outbursts are a sign of frustration? Or do they indicate a deeper issue with sportsmanship? And finally, do you agree with Stephen A. Smith's take on the situation? Or do you think there's more to the story? I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions in the comments below.